Hello and welcome to my channel, and welcome to the port of Dover. It's about 6:30 in the morning on the 7th of October, and it is the beginning of a very big week for me, so I hope you'll join me. I'm not sure yet whether I will make this into one video or two videos or three videos, because there is going to be quite a lot to cover as I travel now from England to Bonn in Germany. The video is likely to be made up of moments in Bonn, perhaps Cologne, certainly Brussels and Bournemouth, and finishing off in Devon. So big week ahead, lots to do, hopefully a little bit of fun along the way, and I hope you enjoy this video. Such a beautiful morning here on the English Channel. Right, so I'm just driving across France now on my way home. I've been making this journey many times. This is the last of those journeys, probably, between England and Germany. And often for company, I play podcasts. And podcasts have played a big part in my life over the last 10 years or so. Someone once said that you are the average of the 5 people you spend most of your time with. And I was in quite a desperate situation, living on my own in Germany whilst my family were living in England. And I could see no way out of this situation. It felt like it was just going to last forever. So I decided to surround myself with people who could inspire me, give me new ideas, give me the belief in myself that I needed to be able to find my way out of this situation. And there were probably 3 podcasts that I listened to most. So the Tim Ferriss show, the James Altucher show, and the One You Feed. And they interviewed some amazing people, and it was a real privilege to get to know these people in depth through these 1, 2, sometimes even 3-hour interviews. I was listening to the James Altucher show yesterday, actually, as I was driving down to Dover, and he was interviewing a lady who was 103 years old. Quite incredible. But she's written books and done a lot of work on how to live a healthier, happier life. And she takes a holistic approach to medicine and to making these improvements. She talked about the 5 L's: life, love, laughter, listening and labour. And she talked through these things, and it kind of resonated with me in my own life. So let's think about it. Starting with life itself, and this moving from Germany back to England. There is so much that couldn't have happened without coincidences, without luck, without other people, without serendipity. You know, I like to think that I was the one who made things happen, but there was an awful lot that happened that was outside of my control, that was part of that journey we went through. So when we went to Devon, we didn't know what town we were going to live in. We knew we were going to a place where it's not easy to find a house, but we stumbled upon a town that we fell in love with. It's bustling little market town by the sea. It has lots of small independent shops. In fact, the majority of the shops are small and independent. It means you get chatting to the staff when you go in there. Hopefully we'll even get to know them. They're quirky, so you can get different styles of clothing, recyclable products. It just felt right to us. It ticked so many boxes, and on top of that, the town has lots of other things to offer, like a theatre or an amateur theatre, running clubs, yeah, all sorts of things. And it's set in a beautiful location, and I don't know how we found this place, but we did. There are plenty of towns that we wouldn't want to live in that area, but this one, we found it, and we found it during our very first visit to Devon. We then arranged to view a house in this town. We went to look at the house. We didn't like it. We were pretty sure we wouldn't be able to live there. And as we were looking around, the estate agent said, well, actually, we've just had a brand new one that's just come through. No one's even looked at it. She said, I've not even seen it myself, but if you want, we can arrange a viewing. So we said, yes, let's do that right now. So we immediately went round to this maisonette and fell in love with it. And we met the owners, talked to them, and they seemed to like us. We immediately struck up a good sort of relationship with them. And even though I have no credit rating in the UK, because I've not lived there for so long, we were able to secure the rent on this place. So we got a town we love, a house we love, and I'm not sure how much of that is down to us and our good planning or whether it's down to serendipity or the universe or God or something else, but yeah, it's incredible. And there are smaller things as well, like we would never have been able to do this if it hadn't been for the fact that my neighbour had stored our car seats to free up the room to bring all our possessions back, or if I hadn't have accidentally ordered a bigger car from my company that was large enough to fit all our possessions in. I actually intended to order a smaller version of this car, but anyway, it worked out well. And there are lots of these little examples I can give of things that helped us to get to where we are now. There were also some stumbling blocks, of course, and hurdles that we had to overcome. That was all part of it. But it led me to think, well, how much of our lives are we actually in control of? Okay, I think it's safer if I do this here whilst I'm parked up, even though I was not touching any controls or looking at the phone as I was recording. I think that it's better if I do this here. It's interesting how you have these remarkable coincidences in life, or you meet these helpful people, you get these unexpected helping hands that enable you to get to your destination. And of course you have an influence on that, and you try to set a general direction for yourself, but there's an awful lot going on in this universe that makes up part of that journey. And I believe that we are all connected, and so we live our lives in a very interconnected way, and love transcends that as well. So love is all around us. Sorry, that sounds like something from a film or a song, but love is part of those connections. Yeah, so those are the two L's I wanted to talk about, I think, love and life. Maybe related to that, what I was saying about the interconnectedness of our lives and of ourselves with the wider world and universe in which we live, comes a little bit of fear from me, because there is a lot of uncertainty and a lot of things beyond our control, and that leads to moments of discomfort, I would say. For me in particular, I have some anxiety around that at times, because I think we do like to be in control, and we do like to have certainty in our lives, and sometimes you have to let go and accept that you can't know everything, and you can't manage absolutely everything, and be certain that things are going to follow a particular sequence. So sometimes I do worry about that, and that's why I have been grappling with the idea of turning to God. I haven't yet made a decision about that, but I would say I am a very spiritual person. I do pray a lot, but I don't attend church, and I'm not yet sure about all the rituals that go with church and about the institution itself. But when I go back to England, I will have more of an opportunity to explore that, because the church services will be run in my language, obviously. And I hope I do find something in the church and in religion that will help me to feel more confident in life and to have more faith in the future and to have less anxiety about everything. So yeah, so that was quite interesting. And then the other two L's were about laughter with love, so not laughing at people but laughing with people. We certainly did that in the restaurant yesterday when I was with my wife and daughter and her friend. And I think that's an important part of enjoying life, because life should be enjoyed. So I think that's key to living a healthy, happy life, but also to reduce the stress. I think laughter is a real way of releasing that valve, releasing all that tension and that anxiety that you feel. And what was the last one then? Labour. Yeah, again, coming back to the topic of love. I mean, labour, so working. I think you get more out of your work if you work in service of something greater than yourself. And sorry, I need to have a swig of water, I think. Obviously raising a family, my work has been to help provide for my family. But even now that my children are both grown up, I see a lot of uncertainty, again, that word, and insecurity in the world. And I want to do everything I can to provide some stability for my children, so that if ever they fall upon hard times, they have something to fall back upon. So all of those things can provide you with a more holistic approach to happiness and well-being. So I like that model, those 5 L's in that model, and I really appreciated listening to this 103-year-old lady talk about this, because so much of it resonated with me. So I thought I'd share that with you. Well, as much as I love Belgium, it's always very nice when I enter into Germany. It's a sign that I'm nearly home after a long drive, so maybe got 1.5 hours to go now, I would guess, depending on traffic. So yeah, very happy I can now put the German radio on, perhaps 1 Live oder WDR 2, relax and hopefully enjoy the rest of the journey. So I've got back to Bonn. I'm now staying in a little apartment in the Endenich region of Bonn, next door to an Irish pub where I've just been and had my veggie burger and a glass of water. And I'm all ready for tomorrow when I have an early start. Got about 3 different things I need to do tomorrow before I finally get back to what will be another hotel in another part of town. One thing I've just noticed, I've just been looking at the videos I made driving down here, and whilst I know I was not looking at the device or touching the device whilst I was driving, I was quite shocked how often I was taking my hands off the wheels as I was just gesticulating and trying to explain things with my hands waving about everywhere, and I was rather shocked about that. So I won't be doing that again, because I like to take safety seriously when I'm driving. So I hope I didn't give you any anxiety as you were watching that clip. Anyway, I'm now going to retire for the evening. It's been a long day, and we'll see what tomorrow brings. Okay. So I'm now climbing the steps to the Rathaus Bonn, which is where I was given my citizenship. Beautiful building. I'm actually coming up here not to look at the building, but to look out across the square and the restaurants and the market. And that is the university building there. Good. So I've just popped into town to sort a few things out. Spent about 1 hour in the bank trying to just change my address. Things tend to be a little bit complicated here sometimes, but I'm enjoying seeing my town for one last time. So even though I'm feeling rather exhausted from a day visiting banks and tyre centres to get my winter tyres fitted and getting my car cleaned and walking around town, all in a new pair of trainers that are hurting my feet slightly, I couldn't resist the temptation of coming out for an evening stroll just to capture the beautiful city of Bonn on what is a nice October evening. Well, on evenings like this I certainly wonder why it is I'm leaving Bonn. It is such a beautiful place. Earlier today I didn't quite feel like that. I was walking around some not so attractive parts of the city and dealing with some of the administration and bureaucracy here. So earlier today I might have given you a different kind of reflection. But tonight, alongside the Rhine, overlooking the Siebengebirge, I do wonder, why is it I'm leaving Bonn? Why is it I'm leaving Germany? Well, obviously there are some reasons for this, but I'll talk about those in a moment. So maybe I'll reflect on why I came to Bonn in the first place. I think there were two things really. One was I always had this dream of living abroad, and the other was I was really keen to escape the rat race in the UK. So maybe that second point was a really strong driver towards the end of my time in the UK. I mean, I was working very long hours, made worse by a difficult commute around the M25 around London. I felt there wasn't enough job security. There'd been a round of redundancies, and I found I was just not there for my family really. I was just providing the money but not doing too much else. Maybe I'm being a bit hard on myself there, but certainly I was spending a lot of time away from home. I was stressed, so I was not at my best. It meant I was drinking quite a lot of wine in the evenings to relax, and it was basically just an unhealthy lifestyle, and I wasn't getting the quality time I wanted with my family. So I was really looking for an adventure. I'd seen my mom do it in France, and although it didn't work out for her, I'd got a taste of it and wanted some of that for myself. And whilst we have had some difficult times here, it was something we did together, and I think it brought us much closer together than we otherwise would have been. Sorry, it's very busy down here and I keep stopping. They have very strict data privacy laws in Germany, and I don't like to capture images of other people on my videos. And I'm also still not comfortable talking to myself as I walk along. But anyway, so it was a great adventure. We loved it here. But all good things come to an end, I guess, and so much has changed since we came to Germany. I mean, just off the top of my head, we had the war in Syria, the war in Ukraine, we've had COVID, we've had inflation and the cost of living crisis, we've had all the massive changes that technology has brought. I mean, when we first came to Germany, we couldn't even translate German into English using the internet, and now look at it. So things really have changed, so it'd be foolish to think our own lives wouldn't change.
And I think our centre of gravity just slowly shifted from Germany back to England. So it now seems like a very natural move to make, returning to England. And leaving here on a good note, you know, it's not like I'm leaving here in sad circumstances. Germany has provided me with a secure job for the last 2 decades of my working life leading up to my retirement, and I'm very grateful to Germany and to my company for providing that. So that's it, walking out the office for the very last time. Bye bye, Deutsche Telekom. It's been fantastic. I met so many nice people today and yesterday, quite emotional, but a lot of reminiscing, had some lovely gifts, and even though I was dreading today, it's actually been wonderful, and I'm so glad people made the effort and that we managed to get together. It's been an incredible 20 years, and I'm so grateful for the opportunities and the wonderful moments I've had, and for a good career. And now it's time for a new chapter.
Nächster Halt, Brühl, Rathaus.